Within the first 6 months of me trading, I blew through $50,000, basically everything that I had in my savings account. And this goes back to 2020. And I started trading then because COVID had just happened. I just lost my personal training business, wasn't allowed to go to the gym. So I thought, what am I going to do next? Came across trading, jumped on YouTube, watched the videos. You see the guys, they're, posting the challenges, $100 to $1 million in a couple days or whatever it is they're posting. And you see the Lambos, you see the jewelry, you see the money, and you want that for yourself. And you think, oh, this is easy. If they can do it, I can do it. I'm going to become an overnight success. I'm going to make $1 million in a week. And then the realization comes that it's not a get rich quick scheme, and you actually can lose a lot of money. And I did lose a lot of money. And it got so bad for me to the point where I had a friend who had to step in to pull me aside and say, what you're doing is dangerous. Because I would sit there, stare at the charts all day, try to take 50 million trades a day, pull my bank card out, load up my account, blow it, load up my account, blow it. And I just kept doing this until I'd blown through every last dollar I had in my savings. So like $50,000 gone within 6 months. And mind you, I had no job because of COVID. I had no other income coming in. And I was so desperate for trading to work that it literally cost me everything I had in the bank. And that desperate feeling is what's going to cost you more money than anything, because I know what it's like. I know that desperate feeling to want a better life, to want more for yourself, and the promises online that you can do it so easily and you can do it overnight and you can be this instant millionaire within a week. But that realization of, when you're sitting there and you've literally lost everything, and you have someone sitting there saying, like, mate, what are you doing? Like, you've got no money left, you've got no income coming in, and you are literally just blowing money on repeat. It's like you've got this diluted sense of reality. And I was like so addicted to trying to better my life and fix my life, but that addiction was ruining my life and it was making it worse. And it was so bad that, I stopped trading. Like, I literally stopped trading for a little while because it got so bad. And it wasn't until I stopped trading that I was actually able to, assess what I was doing, because I didn't even go on a demo account. I literally went on a live account straight away because I thought I'm going to make millions overnight. That, deluded confidence that, I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea about risk management. I had no idea what an edge was. And I would just enter into a trade and it would instantly go against me every single time. And I would sit there and I go, the markets are out to get me. Why am I always getting it wrong? I was getting it wrong because I had no idea what I was doing. And then I just thought, if I keep doing the same thing over and over again, yes, you can make money in that sense with an edge. But if you don't have an edge, if you don't know what you're doing, even if you do the same thing over and over again, you're still going to lose money. And even though I was losing money and it was painful and I had every trade going against me, I still didn't even learn the hard way. Like, I just kept doing the same thing. And it's disheartening. And when I stopped trading, I thought, I'm never going to be able to be profitable. Like, I just can't do this. Like, I cannot do this. But in that time when I wasn't trading, I actually was able to reflect on my actions, and I was able to reflect on what I was doing wrong. And the fact is that I was so desperate for this new life and this crazy fortune that I'm going to build overnight with $100 or $1,000, isn't realistic. Like, it's a slow build and it takes time. And it wasn't until I came back to trading, and then when I did, it was a demo account. And I spent well over a year and a bit on a demo account, but I was just refining the edge. And then I was just collecting enough data and collecting data, reviewing my emotions, seeing what I was doing wrong before I actually switched back to a live account. But even in that period, even when I was on that demo account, I still had all these periods where I would go through these cycles where the market kept going against me, and all that doubts of, like, that frustration where you take 5 trades or 6 trades and the market goes against you every single time, and you're sitting there going, I can't do this. How am I going to be profitable? I don't understand why the market's going against me. And then you get emotional, and then you start, sliding down this slippery slope of, like, self-doubt and, lack of confidence, and, you've got no edge and you don't know what you're doing, and it just gets worse and worse and worse. And I did that for over a year, and then, you know, you sort of get into the break even phase, and then, you know, you're like, I don't understand why I still can't get profitable. And then the doubt creeps in, you're like, oh, well, I'm a break even trader, but I'll never become profitable. And it's hard. Like, there's so many challenges that I've had to face to be able to get to where I am. And, you know, you hear all the statistics, and it's like 90% of traders fail, only 10% of traders make it. But at the same time, like, I was going to be a part of that statistic. And the reason I was going to be part of that statistic is because I had no idea what I was doing. I was taking the craziest trades you should never take. I had no risk management. Like, the statistics are like that is because the entry level to get into trading is so low. Like, there's nothing. Like, all you have to do is create an account and you can start trading. And that's why the statistics are so bad. Like, you know, 90% fail and only 10% win. But, you know, there are going to be times, like, there are going to be so many times when you think, I can't do this. I'm never going to be profitable. I can't do it. I can't do it. But you can do it. Like, you literally can do it, and you owe it to yourself. And one of the main reasons is because you're probably not managing risk. You're not taking things seriously. You're underestimating the markets. You're thinking that you're going to become a millionaire overnight and all this other stuff like I was. And all that did was cost me $50,000 plus. And I did it in 6 months. That's crazy. That's crazy. And there are going to be so many times when you think that you can't do this and the markets are out to get you and you're never going to get there, but you are going to get there. And the craziest thing is you already know what you need to do. Most traders already know the things that they need to do to become profitable. It's like people can give advice, but they can't take their own advice. So, you know, that's the same with trading. You know, you already know what to do, but you just can't follow your own advice. And you see it over and over and over and over again. And it's so much easier to, you know, give advice than take advice, you know. But it's the same as trading. Like, it's so much easier to set your rules rather than follow your rules. But you can do it. You can become profitable, but you just need to take things seriously. And you do owe it to yourself. And there are going to be periods where you think that you're never going to make it. And there's going to be a lot of those periods. It's not just going to be one and done. Like, there's going to be so many times when you're sitting there thinking, how am I going to do this? I'm never going to become profitable. But you can be. You can become profitable. And you already know what you need to do. And most of the time, it's so, you know, so obvious in front of you that sometimes you're, you know, staring at things so close that you can't actually see what you're doing wrong. And it's not until you actually have a step back when you're like, oh, I'm actually really bad at revenge trading because I can't take a loss and I think I'm going to make that money back, but it's actually costing me more. So, and you know, that's another thing. You already know what the problem is. You already know that you're, you know, a FOMO trader, revenge trader, over trader, you know, rule breaker, whatever it is. Like, you probably already know what it is you're doing wrong, and you already know what it is you need to do to fix it. But you just need to do it. You need to do it. You need to take responsibility. You owe it to yourself. Don't give up on trading, because if you give up on trading, then you will never have the chance to become profitable. You make trading as hard or as easy on yourself as you want. You can make trading a lot easier for yourself. You owe it to yourself. If you want to talk more trading, or if you want to join a community that's, you know, all about trading and not someone that's trying to shove some course down your throat, like, I have a Discord where we just talk about trading and more stuff on this videos and, you know, psychology and, you know, share charts. So if you want to join the community, the link is in the description of this video. It's in the bio as well. But you will become profitable if you follow your rules, and you owe it to yourself to do it. You can do it.